but a little bit abrasive. Nobody's heard that before. And I always felt that to run a good company, you had to have room for everybody, and that you could always figure out a way to make room for smart people. So we decided to have a night shift in engineering. He was the only one in it, but he and Wozniak for Atari actually designed a game called Breakout, which was a game that I blocked out, but I needed to get an engineer to work on it, and at the time we'd gotten all corporate and excuse me, and let the engineers bid on it. They bid on the projects they wanted to do. And at that time, ball and paddle games were considered passé, so nobody wanted it. So I got Wozniak to do it, and it turned out that Breakout was the game that launched Nintendo. They unmercifully copied it, released it in Japan. Oh, well, that's another story. But that's your Pong game. That was actually Super Pong. See that little slide switch on the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4? We had 4 games in it. You could play Pong with each other, you could play Pong against a wall, play Pong with the thing. They were basically 3 versions of the same, or 4 versions of the same game. Then we decided to do the Atari 2600. And the idea here was, let's give people a choice. Let's sell some razor blades. The cartridges we could build for about $3. We could sell them retail for 20. That's a nice margin. We made some money on the VCS, but it was basically obsolete the day that we shipped it because it had 128 bytes of RAM, 128 bytes. That's not kilobytes, it's bytes. And why? RAM was very expensive then. And from the time we started the design till the time we actually launched it, the cost of RAM had come down, and you could do a lot more if you had more RAM and greater stuff. When we launched the 2600, we thought that we could build 20 games. We figured out the architecture and everything, said, well, we can do about these, and we had them listed, and it was great fun. We actually I made a huge mistake on launch. And the mistake was that we had 9 cartridges ready to go, and we thought that the average uptake of the units would be about 3 cartridges per player. Well, it turned out that when we shipped it, every player that we sold, everybody bought every cartridge we had available. And so we had half of the units out in the market with no cartridges other than the one that was built into it. And it took us a little while to fill the thing, but it was cost us about, that decision cost us about $10 million in margin at the time. Big, big mistake.